Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of biomes. This project is made by Courtney Pace and
Anna Lippincott.
Yay! Woo! On this journey, we will be taking you through several biomes, both land and aqua.
Blub, 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 blub.
Yeah. And welcome to the tundra, otherwise known as the Arctic tundra. The Arctic tundra is found in extreme northern latitudes where it is very cold. The tundra has long, harsh winters and short summers. There is also very little precipitation, and the soil is young and deprived of any nutrients due to the extreme cold weather. A layer of topsoil, though, is always covered in permafrost, which prevents plants from growing, which is not good at all. The tundra also has low species richness and primary productivity. The only plants or trees that can actually be recognized in the tundra are dwarf willows or dwarf birches, which seldom grow larger than a foot. That is not that big. And polar bears are some of the species that are found in the tundra. Baby polar bear. Hey.
The year-round animal life of the tundra, in addition to polar bears, includes lemmings, voles, weasels, arctic foxes, snowshoe hares, snowy owls, and musk oxen. In the summer, caribou migrate north to the tundra to graze on sedges, grasses, and dwarf willows. Dozens of bird species migrate north in the summer to nest and feed on abundant insects. Mosquitoes, black flies, and deer flies occur in great numbers during the summer. Tundra regenerates slowly after it has been disturbed. Even hikers can cause damage. Oil and natural gas exploration and military use have caused long-lasting injury, likely to persist for hundreds of years, to large portions of the Arctic tundra. Climate change is beginning to affect the Arctic tundra as well. As the permafrost melts, conifer trees replace tundra vegetation. The trees have a lower reflectivity than snow, ice, or tundra vegetation, causing additional warning, an example of a positive feedback mechanism. In addition, the permafrost line is moving southward, another result of increased climate warming.
Hello, and welcome to the temperate grasslands. It snowed here because it's wintertime, which is very cold in the temperate grasslands, but they have hot summers and little rain, anywhere from 10 to 30 inches. The soil is rich in organic material, and grasses are sod farmers. Temperate grasslands are found in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Kansas, and other Midwest states in the United States. Little tree vegetation, but grasses grow in great profusion. Wildfires help to maintain grasses and the dominant vegetation. Animals include elk and bison, wolves and coyotes, prairie dogs, foxes, ferrets, and birds, and a great number of insects. More than 90% has vanished under the plow due to humans, and the remaining prairie is fragmented.
Hello and welcome to the temperate rainforest. The temperate rainforest is found on the northwest coast of North America, Southeast Australia, and South America. Annual precipitation is high with more than 50 inches. Condensation occurs from dense coastal fogs. Winters are mild and summers are cool. There's nutrient-poor soil, but organic content is high. Needles accumulate as the litter, and it takes years to destroy. Vegetation includes large evergreen trees, Douglas fir, western red collar, Sitka spruce, and western arborvitae. It is rich in smaller plants that grow in trees called epiphytes. Also, there are mosses, lichens, and ferns. Animals include squirrels, wood rats, mule deer, elk, bird species, and amphibians. The temperate rainforest is a rich wood producer and one of the world's most complex ecosystems. Human problems include overharvesting of the original old-growth forest, logging, and regrowth of trees takes 40 to 100 year cycles.
Hello, and welcome to the deciduous forest. The deciduous forest has hot summers and cold winters, where the trees lose their leaves, like so. Precipitation is anywhere from 30 to 60 inches annually, and there's a rich topsoil and organic material, and a deep clay low beneath the soil, supported by the decay of organic materials. Trees form a dense canopy, such as oak, hickory, maple, and beech trees, which lose their foliage annually. Originally contained animals such as the puma, wolves, bison, but now the deciduous forest has deer, bears, and small mammals and birds. Human problems include logging and land clearing for farms and deforestation.
Hello and welcome to the boreal forest, otherwise known as the taiga. The taiga stretches across North America and Eurasia and covers almost 11% of the earth. It is extremely cold and has severe winters. The summer is slightly longer than the tundra. There is little precipitation, only around 20 inches a year. The soil is mineral poor and acidic, and there is permafrost that exists deep underneath the soil. There are numerous ponds and lakes, and tree species include black and white spruces, balsam firs, eastern larches, and other conifers. Mainly conifers exist in the taiga. However, a few deciduous trees do exist. Animal species include caribou, wolves, bears, and moose, and smaller mammals include rodents, rabbits, lynxes, and mink. There is an abundant bird population, but they migrate for the winter, so they are not seen around today. Environmental problems include most of the boreal forest is not well suited to agriculture because of its short growing season and mineral poor soil. However, it does yield lumber, paper products, and animal fur. It is the world's primary source of industrial wood, and logging occurs in the forest too. Mining, drilling for gas and oil, and farming have also contributed to the loss of the boreal forest. I don't think it's recording.
It's recording.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to the desert. Here in the desert, there are dry areas consisting of both cold deserts and warm deserts. There is low water vapor content and less than 10 inches of precipitation each year. Their soil is low in organic material, but high in mineral content. The soil is exposed, just like this. The desert plants have little or no leaves. The species include mostly cacti, and animals tend to be small and only come out to hunt, such as the tortoise, iguana, Gila monster, rattlesnake, kangaroos, mule deer, jackrabbits. The desert is found in Africa, Asia, Australia, and the southwestern United States of America. Human impacts include driving off-road across the desert, eroding of the top layer, and taking of groundwater for U.S. cities.
Wow! Hi! Welcome to the chaparral, home of the mule deer. It's a hilly environment with heavy rainfall, but hot, dry summers, and then very mild winters. It's very similar to the Mediterranean climate. It's found in the Mediterranean region, the North American Southwest, South Australia, Chile, and even South Africa. The soil is very thin and infertile, but fires are not uncommon. The vegetation, as you can see, is dense, and even green shrubs or oak scrubby trees are lush in the winter, but then die in the summer. Plants grow to be used to the fires there. Animals here include the mule deer, wood rats, chipmunks, lizards, and birds.
Because the chaparral is prone to fires, the fires that occur in the California chaparral are quite costly to humans when they consume expensive homes built on that hilly chaparral landscape. Unfortunately, Efforts to prevent these naturally occurring fires do sometimes backfire. The denser, thicker vegetation tends to accumulate over several years. Then, when a fire does indeed occur, it is much more severe. This tends to remove the beautiful chaparral landscape whose roots hold the soil in place, and then causes other problems. Witnesses to the mudslides sometimes occur during winter rains in these areas. Hello, and welcome to the Savannah. Here in the Savannah, there is low rainfall. There is a seasonal rainfall, but there is also prolonged dry periods. Also, the temperature varies little throughout the year. The seasons are regulated by precipitation and not temperature. The annual precipitation is around 30 to 60 inches, and the soil is somewhat low in essential nutrients, partly because many of the minerals have filtered down out of the topsoil, which is called leaching. Also, the soil is often rich in aluminum. And your most common savanna is the African savanna, but savannas are also found in South America and northern Australia.
Savanna has wide expanses of grasses interrupted by occasional trees, such as acai, which bristle with thorns that provide protection against herbivores. Both trees and grasses have fire-adapted features. Spectacular herds of hoofed mammals, such as wildebeest, antelope, giraffe, zebra, and elephants, occur in the African savanna. Large predators, such as lions and hyenas, kill and scavenge the herds. In areas of seasonally varying rainfall, the herds and their predators may migrate annually. Savannas are rapidly being converted into rangeland for cat. Oh, it's a cheetah! Fascinating.
Anna.
Yeah, I can go. Okay. Rangeland for cattle and other domesticated animals, which are replacing big herds of wild animals. Half the savanna in central Brazil has been converted into cropland and pastures since 1970. The problem is more acute in Africa because it has the most rapidly growing human population of any continent. In some places, severe overgrazing and harvesting of trees for firewood have converted savanna to desert, a process called desertification.
Hello, and welcome to the tropical rainforest. Temperatures of the tropical rainforest are warm throughout the year, and the rainforest has daily precipitation, with an annual precipitation of 80 to 180 inches. The rainforest is found in areas with ancient, highly weathered, mineral-poor soil. There's little organic material in the soil because bacteria and fungi decompose organic litter rapidly. So the nutrient minerals of the tropical rainforest are tied up in vegetation, not in the soil. The tropical rainforests are found in Central and South America, Southeast Asia, and Africa.
Much of the precipitation in tropical rainforests comes from the locally recycled water that enters the atmosphere by transpiration of the forest's own tree. Tropical rainforests are also very productive. The plants capture a lot of energy by photosynthesis. Of all the biomes, the tropical rainforest is unexcelled in species richness and variety. No single species dominates this biome. A person can travel hundreds of meters without encountering two individuals of the same tree species. The trees of the tropical rainforest are typically evergreen flowering plants. Their roots are often shallow and concentrated near the surface in a mat. This root mat catches and absorbs almost all nutrient minerals released from leaves and litter by the decay process. Swollen bases or braces called buttresses hold the trees upright and aid in extensive distribution of the shallow roots. In a rainforest, there are three distinct stories or layers of vegetation. The topmost story consists of crowns of occasional, very tall trees which are exposed to the direct sunlight. The middle story forms a continuous canopy of leaves that let in little sunshine to support the sparse understory. Only 2 to 3% of light bathing the forest canopy reaches the forest understory. Smaller plants specialized for life in the shade as well as seeding of taller trees comprise the understory. The vegetation of tropical rainforests is not dense at ground level except near stream banks or where a fallen tree has opened the canopy. Tropical rainforest trees support extensive epiphytic communities of plants such as ferns, mosses, orchids, and bromeliads. Epiphytes grow in crotches of branches, on bark, or even on the leaves of their hosts, but they use their hosts primarily for physical support, not for nourishment. Lianas, which are woody tropical vines, twist up through the branches of the huge rainforest trees. Once in the canopy, lianas grow from the upper branches of one forest tree to another and connect the tops of the trees and provide a walkway for many of the canopy's residents, like monkeys. Lianas and herbaceous vines provide nectar and fruit for many of the tree-dwelling animals. Not counting bacteria and other soil-dwelling organisms, most tropical rainforest organisms live in the upper canopy. Some of these rainforest animals include insects, reptiles, and amphibians on Earth. The birds, often brilliantly colored, are varied, with some specialized to consume fruits, which are parrots, for example, and others to consume nectar, which are hummingbirds and sunbirds. Most rainforest mammals, which are sloths and monkeys, live only in the trees and rarely climb to the ground, although some large ground-dwelling animals like elephants are also found in the rainforests. The human population and growth and industrial expansion in tropical rainforest countries may spell the end for tropical rainforests during the 21st century. Humans are a bad impact on the tropical rainforest. Biologists know that many rainforest species will become extinct before they are even identified and scientifically described.
Hello and welcome to freshwater ecosystems such as a lake. Here in freshwater ecosystems, they include rivers and streams, lakes and ponds, and marshes and swamps. Or flowing water ecosystems include standing water ecosystems and freshwater wetlands. Specific abiotic conditions and characteristics distinguish each freshwater ecosystem. Flowing water ecosystems are composed of rivers and streams, and physical features from headwater to mouth. Energy input comes from streams, rivers, or runoff. Organisms include fish such as salmon and crayfish, and human impact includes pollution, which alters the physical environment and threatens the wildlife, and also recreational fishing and dams cause water backup. Standing water ecosystems are composed of three zones: the littoral zone, the limnetic zone, and the profundal zone. Littoral zones are the most shallow. Limnetic is the most productive zone and includes animals such as frogs, turtles, worms, crustaceans, and fish such as perch, carp, and bass. The profundal zone is not penetrated by light and there is no wildlife. Environmental problems include pollution, devastation from agriculture, dam construction, and urban development. Hello and welcome to the marine ecosystem, consisting of saltwater oceans. The marine ecosystem ocean trenches extend over 6 kilometers below the sunlit surface. The tides and currents have a profound influence on the ocean. There are usually 2 high tides and 2 low tides. The environment is divided into several zones: the intertidal zone, which is where organisms live along the shore; the benthic environment, which is where organisms live on or underneath the seafloor; and the pelagic environment, where organisms live in the water. The pelagic environment is divided into 2 provinces, which is based on depths: the netric environment and the oceanic province. The netric province consists of shallow water, which is close to shore, and the oceanic province comprises most of the ocean.
The ocean is so vast that it is hard to visualize how human activities could harm it. Such is the case, however. The development of resort cities, industries, and agriculture along coasts alters or destroys coastal ecosystems, including mangrove forests, salt marshes, seagrass beds, and coral reefs. Coastal and marine ecosystems receive pollution from land and rivers emptying into the ocean, and from the atmospheric contaminants that enter the ocean via precipitation. Disease-causing viruses lead bacteria from human sewage contaminant seafood, such as shellfish, and pose increasing threat to public health. Millions of tons of trash, including plastic, fishing nets, and packaging materials, find their way into the coastal and marine ecosystems. Some of the trash entangles and kills the marine organisms. Less visible contaminants off the ocean include fertilizers, pesticides, and heavy metals, and synthetic chemicals from agriculture and industry. Offshore mining and oil drilling pollute the province with oil and other contaminants. Millions of ships dump oily ballast and other waste overboard in the oceanic provinces. Fishing is highly mechanicalized, and new technologies detect and remove every single fish in a targeted area of the ocean. Scallop judges and shrimp trawls are dragged across the synthetic environment, destroying entire communities in a single swipe. Oh, hey, Courtney. How's the ocean?